We talk a lot about gold mining in Canada, and of course investors have been paying a premium for North American located mines. But West Africa has emerged as one of the world's most important gold mining sources, and we've got a big player with us now in the studio, Endeavour Mining. It has a flagship project on the horizon and has been returning cash to shareholders in the form of buybacks and dividends. We're joined by Ian Cockerill, CEO of Endeavour Mining. It's great to see you.
Good morning. Thank you, Andrew.
So just to remind us, you're basically all in West Africa, and you're the big player in that part of the world.
We are, and we're a big player in the world's largest producer of gold, globally.
It's the biggest region. I didn't know that.
Yes.
What is your production going to be roughly this year?
This year, we're guiding anywhere between 1.1 and 1.26 million ounces. The momentum that we've built up, if you look at what we produced in Q1, and how Q2 is shaping up, I'm very comfortable that we'll be hitting our guidance, very comfortably.
I mean, there's a pretty mature mining industry in that part of the world, in the sense that Ghana has been a long time successful miner of gold. Other countries are newer, but do you find that you get the expertise and infrastructure you need?
Look, we're very comfortable. Not only do we have the expertise there, we've got some great people working for us. Certainly, it's a very prospective area. The timeline to permitting is much shorter than most other places in the world. And in the last sort of 8 years, we've delivered 5 projects on time, on budget, much quicker than anywhere else. So in terms of a place to work and operate, it's great. We have delivered good returns to our shareholders over that period as well. So it all comes together in that part of the world.
I'm looking at your 5-year stock in Toronto here compared to the Toronto Gold Index. I'm showing it's marginally underperformed over 5 years. Hasn't done badly. 5-year total return of 55%, including dividends, etc. Whereas the TSX Gold Index is up just over 70% total return in 5 years. Is there some reason why you would have lagged the index in that sense?
Look, I think there's a view about West Africa in some people's minds that they don't particularly like it. I think what we've shown is that despite the challenges of working there, we have returned good money to shareholders. Certainly over the last 4 years since we've had our shareholder return program, we've returned about $1.4 billion to shareholders in terms of dividends as well as buybacks. And today we're in a really unique position in that most gold companies tend to be either a growth play or a yield play. But because of the fundamental underlying quality of our business, we're both a yield play, returning 5-6% to shareholders, and we're a growth play, because between now and the end of the decade, we're talking about a 35% increase, organic increase in production from our own assets between now and 2030.
And where will that production come from mostly, that growth, I mean?
Predominantly from the new project that you referred to earlier, Assafou.
Where's that again?
That's in Côte d'Ivoire, in the eastern side of Côte d'Ivoire. That's going to be a 15-year life project. Even at $2,000 an ounce, this is a 25% IRR. It's got a very, very good NPV. It's a low-cost mine. It'll be a sub $1,000 an ounce all-in sustaining cost. So it will help us maintain not only our growth, but it'll also help us maintain what's really important, and that is that we'll be a low-cost producer, but with a reasonable quantum of production as well.
And Côte d'Ivoire, not, as far as I know, plagued with Islamic violence and disruption. That's been a curse for some parts of the West Africa. Burkina you're in, it has unfortunately been hit with violence in some regions of the country. Do you get pushback from investors sometimes over that?
Look, I think investors say, are you comfortable in that part of the world? But in fairness, we've been there a long time. We have reduced over time our exposure to Burkina Faso, so we now got a much better balance in our portfolio. And our experience in country has been one of great cooperation with government. And frankly, again, we've delivered good returns over the years. So I think it shows that we are capable of dealing with any challenge that comes our way.
It's interesting, you're on the board, are you, of BHP Group?
I was on the board of BHP.
Sorry. Okay.
And when I came back full-time to Endeavour, then I stepped down from BHP.
Okay, right. And what is your background? Just remind us, are you a geologist or a financial guy?
My first degree was in geology, and I worked for a year in the industry as a geologist and decided I didn't want to bash rocks for 40 years. So I went and I got myself a blasting ticket, and I became a mining engineer. And I went back and I did a master's in mining as well. And so I'm kind of ambidextrous. And my whole career has been operating both in the operational, the technical, and the financial space, and then ultimately in the C-suite.
Geologist is a bit of a tough job, is it? You're out in the bush with the insects? Or?
I love going out into the field. I love going to our operations. I really enjoy meeting our people. Mining is all about people and logistics. And we've, as I said earlier, we got some great people, and I'm really enjoying being in the role and seeing how we can turn and genuinely make Endeavour a really resilient business, irrespective of the gold price environment that we're in. And what I want to see is I want our investors to actually see in their pocket the margin expansion that we're seeing with the higher gold price. That's very important to me.
Yeah, but it's interesting. With the companies have got this windfall now with record gold prices. Lundin Gold has declared a special dividend, but we haven't seen a flood of that yet, big payouts to investors.
No, look, I mean, we're somewhat unique in what we do in terms of shareholder returns. We talk years in advance. We say, all right, for the next few years, for instance, this year, we've already said there's a guaranteed cash dividend of $225 million. Depending upon gold price and performance, there will be supplemental cash return on top of that. And in addition, we'll do share buybacks. And already this year, in terms of the guaranteed cash dividend for 2025, plus the buybacks we've already done, we've returned already more than we gave last year. So shareholders can expect a good return from this company.